To be the man, woo! You gotta beat the man. And the question is, are you the man? What's up, everyone? It's Paul Artale here. It's Monday. It's time for the opening round. That weekly audio message that helps put us on that journey that takes us closer to living the life that we want and, more importantly, deserve. Last week, I led off with impersonating Mr. Miyagi badly, and this week I decided to continue that trend with impersonating professional wrestling legend Ric Flair badly. But there's an actual point. Are you the man or woman in your field? We've spent the last 2 weeks going through some essential steps. In week 1, we asked ourselves what it is we wanted our life to look like and the goals, and have we setting the right goals and putting ourselves on that path. And last week, we talked about the role of mentors. But to be the top in your field, you have to be at the top of your game in a lot of ways. And to be the man or woman in your field means you have to use knowledge as your chief tool to take you where you want to go. That means you have to know what all the current trends are. You have to know what the top books, researchers, successful people, companies are in your field. You just don't have to know them. You have to know them well. You have to know the intricate details. You have to be a wealth of knowledge because you have to be able to learn and gain insight from that knowledge. For some of us, this is easy. We're already in those fields. We're already in those lanes, and we're just trying to, get to the top or go off in a different direction. But most of us, when we're trying to go after our dreams, that means we're departing one area that we're comfortable with and charting into some scary waters where we might not have all the knowledge. We might not be the expert anymore. When I wanted to become a speaker, my knowledge and my expertise was I was a college football coach and I was an educator, and that's what I knew. And so to go off and to become a speaker, I had to start learning about marketing and business and, of course, speaking, which I knew nothing about. Other than that, I wasn't afraid to get in front of an audience, and I had some general speaking skills, but I knew nothing of the science of speaking and some of the techniques and who the great speakers were. I knew very little of that. So one of your assignments this week is to go to the New York Times bestsellers list. You can go online and look it up, or Amazon.com. And I want you to look at the top 3 books in your category, in your area of expertise, or the area you want to become an expert in. Look at those books. Have you read them? Do you know them well? If not, it's time to get reading. And if you know one of the 3 books, go down to the 4th. But what this does is this will help bring you up to speed with some of the key concepts and the most important aspects to an industry or to an area of life that you're looking at. And that's a great thing. That's a powerful thing. And once you've done that, you got to take those books and obviously read them. Then I want you to look at the list and maybe what are the recent top 3? What's trending right now? What were the best books in 2013? And take the top 3 of those and read them. It's still too early in 2014 to really compile a list, but you can definitely see what's at the top of the list now. And that's something else to look at. So you've got the all-time bestsellers and you've got the current bestsellers. And between that means you've got the foundational, awesome knowledge from the old-time bestsellers. And, of course, you've got the new and the happening and the innovative stuff and then the newer bestsellers. And together, that's a good foundation. And, of course, the final step to this is you got to start reading them. Start devoting a part of your day to reading and catching up to speed with your industry and with the area you want to go in. A second assignment is to look at a magazine, a publication, a website in that area you're looking at too, and to visit it daily, weekly, on some sort of basis. It really depends on how often they come up with the publication. But again, that's another artery for you to gain knowledge and gain expertise in the area. Once you've done that, then you got to go and throw yourself out there now, don't you? Throwing yourself out there can mean something different for everyone because our paths are different. I come from an education background, and to me, getting myself out there, and especially the speakers, to get on stage and presenting at conferences. And in a professional context, that's a great place to start. That's where you can get yourself known. That's where you can promote yourself. That's a place where you can start to play with the ideas that are going to form where you're going to go. If you're trying to start your own business, then maybe you want to look at chambers of commerce. You want to look at incubator groups or entrepreneurial groups, and that might be where you go. Whether you present at their conferences or attend their meetings or join their associations, it's a way to network, and it's a way to start not just learning from people, but once you do the great things I know you're going to do, establishing yourself as expert in the field. And so those are your assignments. It's really simple. I'm going to keep it short this week because really knowledge is power, and one way or another, you're going to have a lot of learning to do. But that's okay, because this isn't supposed to be an easy and quick journey. It's going to take time. You have to lay the foundations. And one of the worst mistakes we can ever commit is to just assume we're better than everyone else and that we know more than everyone. Because the reality is, someone's always going to know a little bit more than you. Someone's always going to know something different. But the more we can consume and the more we can plug ourselves into that knowledge network, we just become that much more powerful and knowledgeable. And just on a practical level, it takes years off our learning curve sometimes. It will fill your head with great ideas and give you thoughts and start to formulate your own philosophies and how you want to do things. And once that happens, you're going to see things skyrocket. Do the homework. If you haven't listened to last week's lesson or week one's lesson, you can go and click back on those on this website, and you'll see those as well. Or you can go to paulartale.com, www.paulartale.com. And that's where you can get your homework assignments from weeks 1 to 3. It's all in one document. I leave it there. And as we go along on this journey this season, you'll have a nice little Achieve Your Dreams workbook. We've all heard the saying, knowledge is power. And there's nothing truer than that. Hit the books. School's in session. I'll see you next week.